Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. I hope you had a wonderful week. In this week's Haftarah, in the Haftarah of Haftaras Toldos, we read from the book of Malachi. Malachi was the last of the Jewish prophets. Malachi was either Ezra the scribe or it was actually Mordechai from the story of Purim. But be that as it may, the prophet comes to tell us one of two messages. One is the reminder that Hashem loves the Jewish people and he hates Eisav. He loves Yaakov and he hates Eisav. And also he comes to give us big time rebuke, how we don't care for Hashem's service enough. We have degraded the service in the temple. So let's discuss. So in the parasha we talk about how Yaakov and Eisav were both the children of Yitzchak and Rivka, and Yitzchak wanted to give the blessings to Eisav, and Rivka made sure that Yaakov, the truly righteous one, got the blessings. Now, what was it about Eisav that Yitzchak wanted to give the blessings to him? So Eisav used to trick his father into being such a good guy. He had exemplary character. As a matter of fact, our sages actually praise his character. We're supposed to learn conduct of honoring our parents from Eisav. But nevertheless, Rivka kind of saw through his ruse, and she realized, and she knew that Yaakov is really the truly righteous one. The Jewish people, we obviously come from Yaakov, the descendants of Edom, of Rome, and other nations come from Eisav. Now, a distinct difference between the two nations is that the Jewish people have a Torah. Part of that Torah involves proper conduct of how we are supposed to conduct themselves within the framework of the Torah. A lot of Eisav's conduct was simply based off of proper conduct, but it wasn't necessarily within the context of the Torah. And what the Torah is telling us, and what Malachi is telling us, is we are supposed to have proper conduct, but it's always supposed to be within the context of the Torah. Meaning, in order for us to learn what proper conduct always is, and when it's applied, when it's not applied, we need the Torah to tell us. So we have to have the Yaakov, the Torah part, and then along with the Torah part has to come good character. Eisav itself, if you just have good character, it'll be misapplied, and a person will basically live a life of fooling other people that they're really good people, but it's not coming from an innate, from a true foundation. It's really based off nothing. What the reason for that is, or what that means is, if society decides that people should be nice, so people would be nice. If society then decides that people should be cruel, so people become cruel. You're just simply going with the motions. You're not founded or grounded based off anything. And therefore, as Eisav Sanesi, I hate that way of life. Whereas Yaakov's way of life, it's continuous, it's constant. It doesn't matter if it's 2021 or if it's 1021 or if it's 21. It's always the same and always has been the same. And of course, because we're interested in knowing the truth and knowing what Hashem really wants from us, so Malachi, the prophet, makes sure to tell us how bad we really are. And how bad we really are is we're bringing sacrifices to Hashem when we're degrading his temple. And what that means is we're not having proper respect, and we're not for the temple or for the service of what we're doing, and it's kind of become nauseous for us. As a lot of the Kohanim had stated, look at all this blood here and all these dead animals, and they had the wrong perception of it. The perception of what these animals are what atone for the Jewish people for all their sins. And instead of viewing it with a simple one-dimensional viewing of what's right in front of you, but rather to look beyond what's right in front of you, look beyond the physical thing that's actually in front of you, and look for what it stands for. And that is a Jewish approach. A Jewish approach is not to just look at a person for who they are on the outside, but look at that person for what they stand for. Look at a mitzvah that Hashem gave you, and look at it for what that mitzvah stands for. Like we mentioned even once, not to eat milk and meat together. Don't look at, hey, what's wrong with milk? What's wrong with meat? No, but look what they stand for. Milk stands for one thing. Meat stands for something else. And so therefore, go beyond the surface of what's actually there and try to have a deeper understanding ourselves. And we're interested in the truth. And the truth is that sometimes the Jewish people are rebuked. And the Kohanim, the ones that served in the temple, they were also rebuked. Of course, it's all magnified a little bit, but we're interested in rebuke because we're interested in becoming better people. We become better people by following Hashem's Torah. If we follow Hashem's Torah, then Hashem loves the Yaakov, And he hates the Eisav who people are just conducting themselves based on what looks right. And a lot to talk about, but thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.